Blue Moon is the newest film by writer-director Richard Linklater, who is one of my favorite filmmakers working today. A lot of his films are very dialogue-heavy, character-driven, and there's not really a lot going on. They're mostly hangout films. You look at films like Dazed and Confused, or Before Sunrise, or Boyhood, they're all about so much, but there's not a lot going on, really, when you think about it. It's just a lot of character stuff. A lot of the story comes from the drama between the characters and the dialogue, and that is certainly the case here. It is another great, talky Richard Linklater film. This film follows songwriter Lorenz Hart, played by Ethan Hawke, as he reflects on himself on the opening night of Oklahoma! A new musical by his former colleague Richard Rodgers, played by Andrew Scott. That is the plot summary from Wikipedia, and that is honestly probably the most simple way to describe this film from a plot standpoint, and that is honestly all that happens in this film. There's nothing really to spoil. What I just read to you is the movie. This is a film that takes place almost entirely in one location, with the exception being probably the opening 2 minutes that take place outside of that one location. Everything else happens inside of this bar that all the characters go in and out of. Kind of feels like you're watching a stage play unfold in front of you. Like I said, it's another great talky Richard Linklater film. I just love the way his dialogue sounds. It's naturalistic, but not realistic.
We write together for a quarter a century, and the first show he writes with someone else is gonna be the biggest hit he ever had. Am I bitter, Larry? Yes.
They're full of great monologues, and some are funny, some are moving and emotional. It's everything. I don't know. Ethan Hawke, he's one of the greats, right? He's so good in this. Nobody delivers Linklater dialogue quite like him, and he makes those words sing, and he just breathes new life into them. This entire movie revolves around his performance, and he just knocks it out of the park. You're just captivated or annoyed or intrigued by him, but you're never bored with what he's saying. And that's how all the characters feel about him too. They're just as captivated by him as you are. They're just as annoyed by him as you are. There's literally a scene where Hart is talking to someone and another character sees this and goes, "Oh, they're in danger, we have to go save him." But underneath all of that is this lonely, lonely man. And you get that from the opening scene until the end, and that's why he talks so much. But you can also understand why he's so lonely, because of his ideas and just who he is. He's just quite an odd guy. His disdain for quote-unquote Oklahoma ! As he calls it, amidst everyone else just loving the play. It's just one of many ways where he conflicts with the world around him. And I mean, all of the performances here are just brilliant. You got Andrew Scott, who is clearly playing a character, putting on a mask and trying to be this people pleaser. It acts very much in contrast to Hawke, who doesn't care what people think. Margaret Qualley is great in this as well. She's given a nice long monologue near the end. Her character doesn't have a lot of depth besides being the love interest for Hawke, but she does her best and makes the character feel more real with her performance. Bobby Cannavale plays the bartender / audience surrogate, mostly reacting to the insanity of Hawke's monologues. He also gets some pretty great lines. And the one thing I want to mention is that despite this being a very dialogue-heavy film, it is just brilliantly directed and just wonderfully framed and captured. I mean, the blocking in this, if you're an aspiring director, filmmaker, you should pay attention to the blocking in this film. Sure, it might be dialogue heavy, but Linklater perfectly blocks every single scene. Every object and where it is significant. Characters that are in the background of scenes that you can see, but they're still sort of out of focus in the frame, will all of a sudden become a major part of the story. I mean, everything in the frame is important. That's part of what I love about Linklater as a director. His style is very subdued. He lets the performances guide the film, but he also doesn't forget about the camera. He's still doing visual storytelling. It's just another great dialogue-heavy film that's just captivating from start to finish. I really enjoyed it.